And I'm back with more Dual Destinies. It's been about a week since I recorded, so I'm a little out of the loop, but today I'm going to try and record as much as I can. Make some good headway in this. So, we're at Jinxie's part of Trial Day 1, and this is where the mood matrix kicks in. So, let's get to it. Now then, I believe our next witness is Miss Jinxie Tenma, a maid at QB Manor. I believe we can proceed now, if the witness is ready, that is. Narayan, leader of the 100 demons, he really does exist. Wow. That is one polished trait. The witness will show her face while in court, or her testimony will be inadmissible. Oh! What is it? Be gone! Narayan! Narayan! Leader of the 100 demons! You think I'm a yokai? Well, I was known once as a judicial monster of sorts. The beast of the bar, the demon of due process. My charm has no effect. The demon of due process? Not sure I could see that one. Now, you little scamp. Yes? I trust you know why you're here. Bags. Bags? Oh, that tricksy tanuki. Try the noodle stand. And go enjoy a big bowl of tanuki tail noodles while you're at it. Everyone's a comedian. No, I meant your bags. The ones under your eyes. You must have trouble sleeping. Here, this charm will keep Azuki Arai away. Azuki Arai, the yokai who washes Azuki beans. The only thing needing washing will be your father's neck after I take his head clean off. Azuki Arai often keeps people up at night with the noise he makes washing beans. Seriously, this is Japan. This is Japan. This is not Japanifornia. Nobody would talk like this. I don't care if you're immigrants or whatever. This is rural-ass Japan talk here. Because I don't know if people in Tokyo even talk about Azuki Arai. But if you stick the charm on your forehead, you won't hear him anymore. Is that so? Well, thank you. Looks like Blackwell got more than he bargained for. They're bad enough alone, but together, they're just plain creepy. Your testimony, if you please. Specifically, whether or not you saw Tenma Taro when you discovered the crime scene. I'm sorry, but every time I see this, I think of the Apollo joke. Finish your burgers, and they're wearing kimonos. Did I see Tenma Taro in the Fox Chamber? Well, when I opened the door, I saw... Yes, I remember. Yokai! Yokai right there in the room! Oh, that's bad. So there was a yokai at the scene of the crime. Lots. And lots of them. Wait, more than one? Did Tenma Taro happen to be among them? I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is the room was swimming in yokai. Kasha, Norikabe, Seto Taisho, they're all there. Again, I don't even know if people in Japan know these, much less me. And I love this yokai stuff, but well, I need to read that book. There was a book in a library once that just had a bunch of like yokai names and stuff. Anyway, well, this is an unexpected turn of events. We've gone from no yokai to a flood of them. This is ludicrous. You would have the court listen to this delusional little scamp's testimony.
Hold it!
Your Honor, I believe her memory is simply clouded by fear. A quick therapy session should ease her mind. With the court's permission, of course. What a fabulous idea. Please proceed. Are you sure you know what you're doing? She's obviously not herself. The trauma of discovering the crime scene. And fear of testifying has her more dazed and confused. A regular ball of confusion. I mean, look at that face. Upside and around in that plate. It's just... Jeez. But my approach should be able to help. Any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell? Shall we let Miss Sykes proceed? Makes no difference to me. Do as you will, but I doubt we should get any viable testimony. She'd be better served by bearing witness to the sword skills I forged in a distant land. I'll show you. Alright, so probe... Ah! I found something! Looks like an out-of-control emotion. Athena, what exactly are we looking at here? Oh, this? It's one of Widget's functions. Right here you can see images and emotions extracted from the witness's voice. Whoa! I mean, that little thing could do all that? Pretty cool, huh? Here I thought it was just some kind of toy. Unfortunately, all I'm getting is an overflow error right now. See how sad is brightly lit in the bottom left? She's under an uncontrollable amount of distress, which is masking her other emotions. It seems that sheer terror she experienced has made her a confused mess. So, all these yokai she thinks she saw as a product of rampant emotions? Yeah, that's right. Her fill has instilled her hallucinations and false memories. She's seeing normal, everyday objects as monsters. It's a form of schizophrenic hallucination brought on by emotional trauma. And that trauma in Jinxie's case is fear. So she was... and is still seeing ordinary objects as yokai? You gotta find the root cause of her extreme fear before I can treat it. Let's see. Paul, can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? She seems particularly terrified of that one. Start by pressing probe with L1. Point to what's causing Jinxie's out-of-control emotion. Hit probe again and try to get to the heart of the matter. Okay, let's give this a try.
Got it!
Jinxie, what's the name for that yokai on a Wheel of Fire? That's Akasha, a yokai that steals bodies of the recently deceased. I bet it came to steal the aldermans. It's almost creepy how well that fits with the actual situation. Exactly. It's a form of hallucination. The patient can't see things for what they really are. Must be something at the scene of the crime she's mistaking for a caution. Apollo, you need to point out what you thought was the Wheel of Fire. I think I know the answer now. That wasn't a caution. Could you have possibly mistaken this?
Take that!
That light fixture? This one right here. That's a flame design right up there on the ceiling. There's never a yokai on a Wheel of Fire. All you saw was a light fixture. Okay. Getting somewhere. Alright. That's one memory back to normal. Nice job. When you got the hang of it, you should be able to... A cinch to point out the rest. Jinxie, what about this white wall-like monster? That's Nurikabe. It blocks your way or leads you astray. That's no yokai. It's a folding screen. Ugh. And this raccoon dog isn't a tanuki monster. Just a statue. And look. They're just coffee cups. It's nothing more than a fox statue. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh man, that poor plate. Okay. You did it! Her extreme fear is under control right now. It was all just my eyes playing tricks on me. There weren't any yokai at all. See? Clear-cut statement. That's the power of my psychology and your intuition. And just like you thought, there never really were any. Right. There never really were any yokai in there. So the defense is asserting the exact opposite of their original assertion. Wait. What about Tenma Taro? There wasn't anyone there dressed up as Tenma Taro or a yokai either. I remember it now. You gotta be kidding me! Or joking. Well, this doesn't help them at all, does it? Order! I think we just dug our own grave. Allow me to push you on in. It's the least I can do. Yeah! Apollo? Can I interrupt your freak out for 1 minute? I'm still picking up some noise. It's an unexpected emotion. Does it mean she hasn't remembered everything yet? Exactly. We should be able to get something else out of her. I'll enter the new information and run an update. Some sad emotion, my legs getting out of me. Okay. Pinpoint sad emotion.
Got it!
The amount of fear you felt's rather low despite your legs giving out from fright. Could something have lessened your fear? Actually, I did experience a sudden burst of courage. You did? Where did it come from? Let me think. Oh, it was Mama. I suddenly felt as if she was there with me. Okay. Sudden burst of courage. Let's see. Look! The noise is all gone. She seems to have remembered everything now. Bye-bye. Sudden burst of courage. Where could that have come from? Jinxie, was there something that gave you a sudden burst of courage? Yes, there was, but I realized I had done something naughty when I thought about it later. Any idea what could have given her that courage? Well, there is one piece of evidence that comes to mind. I wonder if she saw something like it at the scene of the crime. Did it have anything to do with this?
Take that!
Jinxie, you didn't happen to see a nine-tailed flower at the scene, did you? The demon lure strikes again. I can't hide anything from you. I found a small case with a picture of a nine-tailed flower in it. I liked it so much, I kept it. You what? You can't remove evidence from a crime scene. That's right, young lady. Removing evidence is a big no-no. Now the witness will provide said evidence this instant. I'm sorry. It does seem to be some sort of case. Oh, look! Something slid out. It appears to be a key. Might I have a look, your bones? This is none other than the master key to QB Manor. Are you certain of this, Prosecutor Blackwell? It matches the serial number of the key that went missing after the murder. A master key? Went missing? Well, I don't like the sound of that. Our little scamp here has stumbled upon an article of unimaginable consequence. That's a little melodramatic, don't you think? Heed these words, for I shall say them but once. The sole key to the Fox Chamber has been in this little scamp's constant possession. Ergo, she was the sole person who could use it before, during, and after the murder. Which leaves the master key as the only other key that could have opened the chamber. But this master key was found in a room that had been locked by the girl. And your point? Until Jinxie Tenma opened the Fox Chamber with her key, the room had been locked tight from the outside world. And there was no one in there, save for the victim and his killer. I trust you figured it out for yourself by now. A killer other than Mayor Tenma himself would be utterly inconceivable. No! Ah, crap.
Objection!
How could this happen? The defense's assistant will refrain from growing her frustrations. Athena, are you alright? I know he's innocent, but there's nothing we can do! This sucks! Sykes, Dono. Allow me to put you out of your misery. Can I decline your offer? Abandon your client and your misplaced faith. Let the relief of a clear head and a clean conscience come rushing in. That will make the inevitable guilty verdict far easier to accept. Great, now he's playing Simon Says. Well, he's not gonna fool us with his stupid mind games. Athena, don't fall for his tricks. No, I'm the one who's dazed and confused. Can't even think straight. Hey, you alright? She fell right into his trap. Now I suggest you make a mad dash from the courtroom into the wild blue yonder. Only by running shall your mind be cleared and your conscience cleansed. Alright, I'll be back. Alright! Stay with me. Don't let yourself be twisted by that samurai. Apollo? Mr. Justice, I've heard the word objection, but what is it you object to? Huh? Oh, that was more a reflex than anything else. I was hoping something more would come to me while I was trying to stop her. The court is waiting, Mr. Justice. Though as it stands now, I'll be forced to declare your client guilty and your legal skills suspect, if this is it. Do you have anything that could overturn the prosecution's case? Actually, I do. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Apollo? You do have something more than your court of steel, don't you? Not really, but we'll be fine. I've got absolutely nothing. That's never stopped me before. Yep, he's totally Phoenix Wright's assistant. I have to explain how the real killer could have escaped that locked room. Because it's all over if I don't. Apollo? This calls for a new approach. Try to think outside the box. In this case, inside. What a doozy that locked room is. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have anything that can counter the prosecution's argument? You bet I do. The real killer must have escaped from the locked room one way or another. Vague conjecture will only see you earn a taste of my blade. Time to do or die. Literally. The defense will now explain how it was able to escape the locked room. You're sure about this? Can you really explain what happened? I'm fine! We just need to think of this whole escaping a locked room thing over from the beginning. So, let's see. If the killer had escaped, how could they have done so? Choices are pretty limited. The room has a window, but it doesn't open wide enough for anyone to get through, and there's a sheer cliff outside. As for the air vent, it's up too high. There's nothing you could stand up to reach it. Needless to say, the forbidden chamber wouldn't open no matter what we did, so that's out. That's why we gotta keep the solution simple. Like they say, simple is best. We need to rule out all of the absolutely impossible escape routes, and whatever's left might lead us to the Fox Chamber, or how it was compromised. Your Honor, the defense proposes that he escaped through here. The front door.
Take that!
The hallway door? I suppose that would be the only way out. It would appear you've already forgotten. The only available key until Jinxie Tenma came onto the scene was within the locked room. How would one exit the Fox Chamber and lock it without a key? I should have seen this one coming. Remember, keep it simple. Right. I could understand if the killer had exited the room, but... Well, Mr. Justice, the prosecution has some fine Japanese steel waiting unless you explain yourself. I'm fine. I can't explain myself. The reason the Fox Chamber's hallway was locked was because the purple locked it from outside. What if the room was locked from the outside? In other words, the killer took the key to the hallway door and... Consider this. The master key was found inside the tightly locked Fox Chamber. Any assertion that the key was removed from that room is a blatant contradiction of fact. Exiting the room before locking the door would require taking the key outside, but the key was found inside the room, which does seem like a contradiction. How could we explain both? How could the key get inside the room and be used to lock the door? Well, let's see if the defense can respond before he draws his sword. How could the master key at the crime scene How could the master key be at the crime scene despite the room being locked tight? Well, I threw it in from the air duct. What if someone threw it into the room from the outside, like, go out the hallway door, lock the room, and toss the key back through the window? That would explain it. And where would you throw it from? There's a cliff outside the Fox Chamber's window. Throwing the key from in front of there would be an impossibility. Ugh. Ah! I wonder if the key could have been tossed in from somewhere other than the window. Gee, I wonder which one it is.
Take that!
The air vent. That's right. The window might be out of the question, but the air vent's not. Oh, that's right. The air duct leads out into the hallway. That's right. The real killer entered the air duct from the vent outside the chamber, then dropped the key into the room through the vent inside the chamber. Ugh! That's preposterous. Hey, that explains how the key got in there after it was used to lock the door. Mr. Justice, I'm afraid I'm a bit confused. But don't worry. I'll explain it so even Your Honor can understand. First, the real killer, disguised as Tenma, murdered the alderman in the Fox Chamber. They fled the room through the hallway and locked it. They entered the air duct from the vent outside. Finally, they tossed the key into the room through the air vent that was in the ceiling. All that was left to do was to go back through the duct and flee the manor. Well, could that be any clearer? Amazing! Even I could follow that! He seems really pleased. Explains everything. The real killer was someone dressed up as Tenma, and there was someone else other than the mayor and the alderman in the room. Looks like that lawyer's beating the jailbird prosecutor. It was a total turnabout. Massive Forehead seems more attractive now. Order, I say! Now that I've proved a possible third party, I don't see how our client could be found guilty.
Silence!
A valiant effort. But your final thrust missed its mark. Huh? Both that little scamp and that Trixie Tanuki saw the yokai after it left the room. But then what? Did that irksome yokai simply go through the foyer and waltz out the front door? It's exactly what happened. The killer fled from the... But that's impossible, without being spotted by the security camera. The electric eye would have captured any pesky little yokai trying to escape. However, there is no sign of him on any of the security footage. What? Save for the foyer entrance, there is no other way to flee the manor, is there? I don't feel so good. Wait! I believe there is one other way to escape. There's a large window in the foyer. It's possible to escape there without being seen by the camera. Hey, you're right. Must I point out every crucial little detail of the defense? Seems to lack not only brains, but investigative prowess to boot. That is the cliff side of the matter. The only killer escaping that way would be a dead one. No! Wait, so the killer didn't escape out the window? What the heck, right? I suppose your next proposal was the killer sprouted wings and flew off into the sunset? That would mean the killer really was a yokai. Only we had some sort of evidence that could point to a flying killer. Who's saying we don't? As completely far-fetched as it might be. Wait, you're saying you could prove that? Whoa, I thought I was the one with the cords of steel. Oh, I can't wait to hear this. Your Honor? What evidence is there that you have that the killer flew away?
Take that!
Take a look at this special edition paper. Tenma Taro? Real? A flight of fancy? What does this article prove, Mr. Justice? The photo in the article was taken shortly after the murder. Maybe the yokai in the photo is the killer as they fled from the window? Mr. Justice, you're not seriously suggesting... Oh, I'm serious. It all adds up. The killer, disguised as Tenma Taro, flew away. Some way or another.
Silence!
Is it your brain that has flown the coop? That image is naught but trick photography or some sort of artifice. Okay, then how does that Tenma Taro figure... What about that Mr. Phillips saw? Does it just vanish into thin air? No. There's a rational, common sense explanation. The infernal yokai our tricksy Tanuki witnessed never reached the entrance. He, or should I say she, turned back before the camera's electric eye. She? I don't like where this is going. The fact that we know the yokai had come from the Fox Chamber means it was likely either Mayor Damien Tenma or his daughter Jinxie. However, we know that Mayor Tenma was already unconscious. That's not good. It's not good at all. Do you understand the gravity of the situation now? The falsified yokai remnants and the appearance of Tenma Taro were the work of one individual. And that individual is none other than Jinxie Tenma. Ah, crap. Oh. Oh, shit. Order! The defense will stop competing for the greatest freakout ever. Especially on a microphone that I don't want to have clipping anyway. The little scamp was no doubt simply trying to protect her father. And it's no wonder that a superstitious mind conjured up this mad masquerade. Prosecutor Blackwell's assertion makes perfect sense. It is far more convincing than saying the killer escaped by flying out the window. Did you truly believe this could end any other way? Did we fall right into his trap? What do we do now? Our case no longer stands without a real yokai. Oh, if only we had one. Bailiff Caesar. It is time I interrogated her as the samurai of yore. What? Huh? How's this gonna work? Mayor Tenma? This farce is over. How does it feel, seeing your own daughter accused for a cover-up most foul? Tenma Taro's true identity is... Now, Mr. Mayor. It would be futile at this point to claim you were that yokai. After all, you had been knocked out cold by a blow to the skull. Slipping into a yokai costume and roaming about the manor would be all but impossible. Consider this well. As it stands, your daughter will be arrested for obstruction of justice. But if you confess, the prosecution would be able to overlook her little yokai farce. Confess! The defendant intends to confess. Wait, Apollo? He's up to his mind games again. Mayor Tenma, don't follow for his twisted words. If you're sent away for murder, she'll be left all alone. The real killer is... He's gonna confess unless we do something. But I can't prove how the real killer could have flown away. I'm totally gonna voice act this, and I don't know what the fuck it's gonna be like. Ka, 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 ka. Look upon me in despair, for ripe is the time of return. I should watch what I wish for. Ah, crap. Foolish mortals. I am Tenma Taro, the yokai you seek. Mayor Tenma? Silence! I am Tenma Taro, freed from the bonds binding me to the Forbidden Chamber. Behold the return of the Demon King! What the Demon King? Well then, I think it's time for me to take a vacation! The witness will, he will explain himself. Are you saying you're Tenma Taro, the yokai we've been chasing the whole time? Indeed. It is I, Tenma Taro, the one whom you seek, come to reveal the truth. This child is Tenma Taro? What nonsense. So, Mayor Tenma's a yokai now? Kla, 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 kla! His body's now mine! And I'm losing my mind. You're saying Mayor Tenma's being possessed by you? And that the yokai that Jinxie Tenma and Phineas Phil saw, the one captured on the news photo, those are all you? The accursed power of those warding charms prevents me from revealing my true form. Your boldness. Can this not be interpreted as an admission of guilt? Well, a confession by a yokai would be quite unprecedented. Be that as it may, the defense's case has been overturned. You claim the yokai that little scamp saw was some third party. The true killer. The one who escaped from the locked fox chamber. But it was the accused all along. Ironic, is it not? Your yokai turned out to be turned out to be real in a manner of speaking. But the Ultimate's killer is none other than Mayor Tenma. And the yokai at the scene, that too, was Mayor Tenma, or should I say, the dear Tenma Taro. The pieces have all fallen into place. How so? Seems I must spell it out for you. Mayor Tenma killed the alderman in the fox chamber, which was locked at the time. He then removed the warding charms from the chamber door, but then fell unconscious from a blow the alderman had delivered to his head. That's when his daughter, Jinxie Tenma, stumbled on the scene of the crime. Little scamp fled in terror, whereupon the spirit of Tenma Taro, freed at last from the charm's warding effect, took possession of the mayor. The newly freed Tenma Taro then fled from the fox chamber. So you see, the yokai Jinxie Tenma saw was her father possessed by Tenma Taro.
Objection!
But when we arrived on the scene, he was found unconscious. How's that possible if he was supposed to have flown out the foyer window? Then what? Do you mean to say the maid of Kyubi Manor, Jinxie Tenma, was Tenma Taro? No. Ah! That too is easily explained. Flew about for a time, did I? But presently tired, I made for the Forbidden Chamber. But alas, exhaustion took me unawares in the Fox Chamber, and I knew no more. It would seem the pieces are still in place. Is he up to his tricks again? I don't know what to say. Is the defendant in real life? So the rumor's true? I knew yokai were real. You mean he really did kill the alderman just to release Taro? Order! Now he's got everyone in the courtroom believing in yokai. That's Simon Says on steroids. He wants to convict our client any way he can, even if it means blaming a yokai. The proverbial ducks are all in a row. You should now have no qualms about finding the accused guilty of baldness. Well, this is one of the most bizarre cases of my entire career. And I saw someone prosecute a parrot. Or cross-examine a parrot. I saw someone prosecute a dead woman. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. Otherworldly, in fact. Can yokai even be prosecuted under our legal system?
Objection!
He's just pretending to be Tenma Taro to protect his daughter. Plus, I already proved how a third party could have escaped. A verdict at this point would be premature. Since both sides have raised valid points, I have no choice but to... This is the dark age of the law, where defense attorneys are not to be trusted. This is but a ploy to gain time for them to fabricate evidence. How will I sleep tonight, knowing you will not let the sun rise on the mayor's day of reckoning?
Objection!
I won't fabricate any evidence. Then prove it by joining me. A night in the clink will ensure you will not succumb to temptation. How about I just promise not to succumb to anything? We have both evidence and a confession. The killer is this yokai before us. It is beyond dispute. A guilty verdict is all but... Whoa! Holy shit! Wait, what's wrong? Prosecutor Blackwell! You've had enough of your hijinks. The foundation of justice is fair play. And you are in a serious violation of that. What in the devil was that? Fulbright, what have you tampered with my shackles? It seems you found that quite shocking. It's my special Jolt of Justice device. Each press is a shocking reminder to behave. You shall pay for this. Simon! Ah! Your Honor! You need not fear now. I believe Prosecutor Black will remain on his best behavior. A bit late with the reassurances, aren't we? Well, in that case, that concludes today's deliberations. The prosecution and defense will use this opportunity to further their investigations. This court is adjourned. Oh boy, I am very curious to see how my voice held up to all that. I don't even know what Tenma's gonna sound like in practice. That was a lot of different types of voices all at once. But anyway, I did the thing. So now we get back to the investigation stuff in the next episode. Thanks for watching.